Yeah, Javon, that man, 32-year-old Antoine Green, is charged in the murder of his father. Police say he allegedly used a sharp object in the killing. Even with the help from FEMA, the Norwich Public Works Department still has a sizable budget gap. A reaction from the courtroom today from the family was that of extreme disappointment. Disappointment because they thought the judge set the bail too low. The calendar may say hello spring, but it sure feels a lot like winter. And it's pretty windy right now, and you see a lot of snow being kicked up in my face. It's not necessarily coming out of the sky, but just snow blowing from the rooftops. We do not know the identity of that driver. Completely covered in snow. And in fact, there are many cars like this all across campus. No one will be able to get anything inside until both buildings are demolished. He is now being held on a $1 million bond and is scheduled to appear in Superior Court in Norwich tomorrow. Live in Colchester, Mike Krafcik, Fox, Connecticut. Louisa, it took a while for crews to contain this fire. It was also tough for water tankers to reach the scene, but luckily nobody was hurt. The fire started on top of a ridge in the Neapog State Forest around 1 o'clock this afternoon.
But you're going in on this side.
The smoke could be seen from miles away.
Maybe an eighth of a mile away.
It was even closer.
Real close.
For Paul Gurdon. His home is on top of a hill at the edge of the forest.
This was all smoked this morning. You couldn't even walk through here.
One of Winchester's ATVs is going to be staying up there because they got water on there.
The command post at Satan's Kingdom in New Hartford.
Oh, that's right.
About a mile from the site of the fire. Bustled with activity throughout the day.
Okay, Roger.
It took 15 different fire departments from Hartford and Litchfield counties to battle the flames.
This is 44.
And getting close to the fire was work in itself.
You're talking very rugged terrain up there, rocks and hills, and a lack of water.
First responders traveled by ATV up the miles of trails in the forest. And then many had to walk, in some cases up to 3 miles to get close.
Beautiful day for a walk.
The Neapog Forest, which sits between routes 44 and 202, ended up with 15 acres of its forest burned because of this fire.
Litchfield County is a considerable size for us.
Car 3 of the trailer.
It took about 6 hours for the fire to be contained, and state environmental officers are investigating how it started. But some believe campers here last night forgot to extinguish their campfire.
So it's a nice spot, but unfortunately, they left and they didn't put the fire out.
This all happened not too long after the statewide forest fire danger level was set at very high this morning. One factor was high wind gusts, at one point reported at more than 25 miles an hour. Mike Krafcik, Fox, Connecticut.
Fox Connecticut's Mike Krafcik is live at Wesleyan with the latest. Mike?
Javon, 2 students had been airlifted to Hartford Hospital, both in critical condition, 2 others in serious condition. All 12 students overdosing on the synthetic party drug known as MDMA, also known as ecstasy or Molly. At 11 o'clock this morning, Wesleyan students were first notified. 3 people were hospitalized with symptoms of overdosing on Molly. 2 students, including a sophomore, are in critical condition tonight.
Yeah, I think everyone's pretty shocked.
The total number of hospitalized students rose throughout the day. 3 more admitted in the afternoon, and even more this evening. 8 were transported by ambulance, mostly from 2 groups of undergraduate dorms.
Some people seem to have been transported this morning because they weren't feeling well when they woke up, and then some others were transported last night.
Middletown police say the students may have ingested a similar form of the illegal substance known as Molly, often taken as a capsule. The drug can last up to 6 hours, and it's not uncommon for people to take a second dose before the first kicks in.
Obviously, it's a pretty big deal to have that many students get so hurt by something.
One student was transported from the address of the Eclectic Society, a former frat house now themed housing for co-ed students and Wesleyan's creative campus. One student tells us a concert was held here Saturday night.
There's no drinks there or anything. It's just music when you go to hang out. Yeah.
The university would not comment on whether the students had been together or at a party, or just where the drugs had come from.
It was definitely like some drug that was sold as something else, and like it's just like we don't really, it's like difficult to get information as to what happened.
Police say their biggest priority is to get more information on this batch of Molly that was distributed around campus last night. They say getting that information will be crucial into helping the recovery of all these students that have been affected. If you have any information, you're urged to contact the University or Middletown Police Departments. Live in Middletown, Mike Krafcik, Fox, Connecticut.
Just now with the details, Mike.
Well, Javon, the family of Sonia Atkins and Newington police are looking for the public's help in locating this driver who fled on foot from the truck he was driving before police could arrive on scene of this deadly accident.
I know she's not coming back, and you don't get a second chance.
51-year-old Sonia Atkins was killed when the sedan she was driving was hit by a pickup truck around 8:15 Friday night at the intersection of Willard and Robbins Avenues.
One of the witnesses said he hit her so hard that all he saw was a cloud of smoke and parts going everywhere.
The driver of that truck, a dark red 1997 Ford F-150 with a temporary registration in the rear window, fled the scene on foot. Moments before, Newington police said that same truck was also involved in a nearby crash at the Porto Vallarta restaurant on the Berlin Turnpike. Aaron Clayton is one of Atkins' brothers. He wants whoever is responsible to come forward.
I thought that was a very coward act, and to run and leave that woman there to die like he did, yeah, I'm very angry about it.
Sonia Atkins leaves behind a son and a daughter and 2 grandchildren. She worked at the DMV in Wethersfield for 30 years and was planning to retire to move down south to live closer to her daughter.
She had a lot of life in her left, too. She was all ready for everything, ready to retire and live it up even more.
The family says Atkins was driving back to her home in New Britain when the accident happened. She nearly made it.
Literally a couple of blocks from her house.
There are few details about the description of that suspect, but what we do know, the man was wearing a backwards baseball cap. Anyone with information is urged to call the Newington Police Department. Mike Krafcik, Fox, Connecticut.